Oh wow, why do Irish travellers dress provocatively? Can American bullies swim? I mean, it would depend on the person. Okay, I'm still confused on this one. So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different and pay homage to the Wired channel's Googling of celebrityness. But there's no celebrities here, so we're just gonna Google stuff. If you enjoy this idea, let me know below in comments other stuff I could Google and we could do it maybe for a future video. Before we get into the video, do be sure to like, share, comment and subscribe. Otherwise, the next time you Google yourself, you're going to find something not so nice. That's actually quite a serious one. They're mostly sort of supposed to be inconveniences. Oh well. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and then you won't have to deal with it. I have gone to google.com US in incognito mode, so nothing from my own personal search history will taint this search. Okay, first up, let's try. Why is Ireland so... I can't spell. Why is Ireland so expensive? Why is Ireland so expensive? I don't know. It's actually out of hand. It's become one of the most expensive countries in Europe. The cost of living in Dublin outweighs the cost of what people are earning on average. It's insane. Why is Ireland so green? Because of the rain. And we have good muck as well. Why is Ireland so depressing? That is a good question. When I was recently in Ireland, I noticed it was just so grey, and I think it's a lot to do with the weather. When the weather is good, Ireland is great and fun and vibrant, but when the weather is bad, it's not so good. Let's try, why is America so? Why is American healthcare so expensive? I don't know. You'll need somebody with a better mind than me to answer that question. Why is American Airlines so bad? Oh, that's interesting. American Airlines, you have got a pretty bad reputation.
Hello, American Airlines magazine.
I heard terrible things about American Airlines and pets. That's quite sad. What do Americans eat? Well, generally speaking, you guys seem to have a rich and varied diet of different things, mostly hot dogs. No, that's not true. Generally, Americans eat like lots of cuisine from around the world. What do Americans call jelly? Okay, I'm still confused on this one. Jelly is actually jam, and jelly, as we know it in Ireland, is jello. What do American toads eat? That seems very random. What do Americans eat? Flies, right? Insects, bugs. Do American men have calories? Oh yeah, that's a good question. In most parts of Europe, we have to display the calorific count of foods. Are you very hot? In most parts of Europe, menus have to display the calorie count on them and how much calories is in every meal. I don't think that's the case in America. I don't think that's like a thing that you have to do there. What are American guys like? I want to know the answer to that question. What are American guys like? Tall, short, slim, fat, muscular. So just generally everything. American men date multiple people. That is true. American men do date multiple people. And women. You guys have a very rich dating culture. You like date multiple people at a time. Not so much in Ireland, generally speaking, anyway. Let's try Irish men. Do Irish wear kilts? Wolfhounds shed. Do Irish wolfhounds shed? I was thinking like a shed in your garden. I don't know the answer to that. Irish don't generally wear kilts. It's Scottish people who wear kilts. But Irish people have worn kilts in the past on occasion. Do Irish people speak English? Yes, we do speak English. English, however, is not the main language of our country. The main language of our country is Irish, as Gaeilge, not Gaelic. If you've been watching this channel a while, you'll know it's not Gaelic. We say Gaeilge or Irish. Do Irish need a visa for the UK? Yes. The UK is no longer in the European Union, therefore it's a complete sovereign state. There's nothing connected to the European Union anymore. I actually recently Googled, hang on, I'll Google it here. Is the UK still part of Europe? Basically, the answer comes back to the fact that the UK is no longer part of the European Union, but technically they are in the continent of Europe. A lot of British people no longer consider themselves European, however, it kind of is on a person-to-person basis.
I'm British, I have a passport.
But technically, yeah, they're in Europe. Why don't American parents pay for college? Why don't American parents pay for college? As far as I understand it, they tend to hand off that responsibility to their children. I would imagine some American parents pay in part for college, correct? But a lot of Americans, as I understand it, recently something came out about American college debt, getting some money toward that from the government. But as I understand it, a lot of American students go into huge debt for like a good chunk of the rest of their lives in order to go to university. It definitely puts the people who are more well off at a greater advantage in life if they don't have to spend the rest of their lives catching up to debt. In Ireland, anyway, our college fees are expensive, and in other parts of Europe people are even paid to go to university. The government pays for their education because they want more educated people in their country. Why don't Native Americans celebrate Thanksgiving? I think that one's pretty self-explanatory, actually. Oh wow, why do Irish travellers dress provocatively? So Irish travellers are a community unto themselves. Sometimes they are called gypsies, but they are their own people and they are protected people within Ireland. As I understand it, and I'm no great expert on the culture, but it's just part of their culture that a lot of the young ladies are generally dressed quite risque, but are quite chaste within their society. Their wedding dresses are insane. 5-year-old Diane would die for those wedding dresses. Why do Irish dancers wear wigs? This actually came from America, Irish dancers wearing wigs. So the pageantry part of Irish dancing was always a thing. You always had to have your hair in ringlets when you were Irish dancing, and you always had these amazing dresses. However, when the Americans kind of started doing Irish dancing more so, and particularly when they started coming over for St. Patrick's Day and walking in the Irish parades, Irish people noticed that they had kind of taken it all to the next level. And one of the things that American Irish dancers did was put these wigs on their head. And so Ireland kind of came to adopt that from Irish Americans. It was a funny reverse kind of thing. As I understand it, back in the 70s, if you were doing an Irish dancing competition and you were found to be wearing a wig or fake curls, you would be disqualified for that fact. So it's interesting it's done like a complete opposite way around today. Why do Irish say feck? Because it's fun. And it's just a nicer way of saying the F word, but less serious. It's kind of less of a serious consequence. How Americans make tea. Oh, you guys make tea so poorly, and I don't even drink tea. Okay, I'm not slagging you off here. No, I am. I'm 100% slagging you guys off. So in Europe and in the UK, we have kettles that you switch on and off, electric kettles. A couple of years ago, I think it was like 2 years ago, a video went viral of Americans making tea, and ever since then, you've been the talk of the town. So apparently, you guys put the water in the microwave and then put the tea bag in the water. It's crazy how you guys do it. But basically, in most parts of Europe and the United Kingdom, you would take your electric kettle, switch on the water, take your cup, put your tea bag in, pour the water on top, take out the tea bag after a couple of, well, usually like a minute, and then put a little bit of milk on top. That would be a general way to make a cup of tea. Which American express card is the best? What's an express card? Like a debit card? Which American presidents were assassinated? I think there were like 4 American presidents assassinated. I'm surprised there are not more attempts, to be perfectly honest. I bet there are more attempts and we just don't hear about it. Which American Girl doll am I? I don't know, but I've heard of American Girl doll teeth, whatever that means. Can American cheese be frozen? Why wouldn't it be able to be frozen? You can freeze cheese in Europe. I freeze cheese sometimes. It never tastes as good. Nothing tastes, potentially unpopular opinion, I don't think anything tastes as good after it's been frozen. It's something to do with science and things expanding, the icicles expanding and contracting, and it takes the flavour out. Can Irish people tan? No. Yeah, no, honestly, most Irish people can tan, or convince themselves they can tan. Personally, just speaking for myself, I cannot tan. I either go red or just freckly or nothing happens. I will never get a tan. Fake tan, yes, splotchy fake tan, that is my thing. But naturally, I am a blue person. I feel that a lot of Irish people build up a tan over time or convince themselves they have, but a lot of them are just burnt. Sincerely though, obviously people from Ireland come in all different ethnicities and skin colours and tones, and like I've one friend who is Irish through and through and she goes absolutely brown in the sun, so just depends on the person. But I would say as a broad spectrum of Irish people, tanning is not our forte. Can Irish citizens work in Canada? I would imagine they would need a visa, correct? Can Irish twins be in the same grade? Oh, that's a great question. Irish twins, so do you guys know what Irish twins are? Well, Irish twins are basically when you give birth and then you get pregnant right away after and you have a child within the same year as you have the first child. So technically speaking, yes, you could have Irish twins in the same class as each other. Generally speaking though, as I understand it, they try and separate twins into different like classes, but you know, it could happen. Can Irish citizens work in Europe? Yes, Irish citizens are part of the European Union and can work anywhere in Europe. Could the Irish famine have been prevented? Yes. When do Americans start school? I would imagine you guys start school at around the age of 5, correct? In kindergarten, or what would you guys call it? You have the grades. Did the grades start then? I feel like they might not start at age 5. I feel like they might start at age 7. When do Americans finish school? 18, correct? Most of you finish school at 18. When do Americans go back to school? As I understand it, you've already gone back to school. Your school starts back at the end of August, I believe. Whereas in Spain and in Ireland, we don't start back until September. When do Americans eat dinner? That's a really good question. I feel like Americans generally eat dinner at about 8 o'clock. Am I wrong? Irish and British people tend to eat dinner around 6 or 7. They'd have tea time around 6 or 7. Whereas people in Spain generally eat their dinner at about 10 or 11 o'clock. And I understand the French and Italians eat their dinners quite late too. Well, that was super interesting. Let me know below in comments if there's any other stuff you'd like me to Google. We'll call this the stuff videos. Creative. Shout out today to a couple of very special people.
We have some really thoughtful little shout-outs today. The first one comes from Jason Moir, and it goes to all the teachers and staff members preparing for the upcoming school year. Jason says, regardless of your role at your institution, we appreciate everything you do to help students in their educational journey. Best of luck for the new academic year. Thank you so much, Jason. Next up, we have the enigmatic Kimber, who wants to shout out the spirits of the universe and all the pretty stars. That is such a good point, Kimber. We often don't appreciate the little things around us. I'm going to take a little moment tonight to look up at the sky. And finally, Eddie Birm is thankful for his ability to support creators like me on platforms like Patreon. Thank you so much, Eddie. You've been supporting me for a really long time and I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. That's it for today. See you on the other side. Bye. I can't use a PC. I'm an Apple girl. Oh God, we're being attacked. Oh, I can't use the PC at all. Do you want to sit with me while we do this video? No, he does not. I can't do this.